Hello students, as we know there are 7 different treatment of bills of exchange. Today in this video we are going to see the fourth treatment, that is bills sent to bank for collection. Now what is bills sent to bank for collection? Let us understand with the help of an example. Mr. A sold goods worth rupees 10,000 to Mr. B. Now Mr. A delivered the goods, but in return Mr. B accepted the bill which is drawn by Mr. A and returned it to Mr. A. Now Mr. A will have to wait for 3 months, right? And after that he can ask money to Mr. B. But here there is not only Mr. B, one single drawee. There are so many people who are buying on credit from Mr. A. Now for every different drawee or for every different debtor, there will be a different credit period. There will be a calculation of due date, and depending on different credit period, the due dates will be different. So now let's say there are hundreds of debtors, but Mr. A won't be having just one bill of exchange. He'll be having so many bills of exchange. So in that case, what he will do is he will not calculate himself each and every due date and will remember. He will do one thing, he will collect all the bills of exchange together and will give it to bank. Now which bank? The bank in which he has his bank account, and that particular bank will not pay money immediately to Mr. A. Unlike discounting of bill. In case of discounting of bill, you remember क्या हो रहा था वहां पे? बैंक ने immediately उस टाइम पे अपने जेब से पैसा निकाल के किसको दे दिया? मिस्टर ए को दे दिया. But here, even bank will have to wait for 3 months because here bank is just playing a role of an intermediary. Bank is just our representative. Bank is going on our behalf and collecting cash from home, each and every drawee. So here, the job of bank is not to pay money immediately out of its own pocket, but bank will keep all these bills safe with itself, and on due date, bank will go to each and every drawee and bank will give the bill and in return collect the money. Now tell me, is bank entitled to keep all those money with himself? No. So what bank will do is, bank will again deposit that money into our account. That means in Mr. A's account, because Mr. A has already business ka bank account with that bank. So simply over here that bank is providing a service. What kind of a service bank is providing? It is just collecting money on behalf of Mr. A. That means drawer doesn't have to go each and every drawee to collect cash. He will instruct bank that you take all these bills and collect money on each and every due date from each and every respective drawee and deposit that money into my bank account. Now here, is there any benefit that the bank is gaining? Bank is gaining some amount of bank charges. Bank will be charging some amount of bank charges. Like for example, जैसे businessman checkbook बैंक से लेता है, so at that point of time bank will charge checkbook issue charges, या फिर बैंक को हम लोग कुछ लाइट बिल या टेलीफोन बिल डायरेक्टली पे करने के लिए बोलते हैं. So at that point of time bank will charge certain amount for providing this kind of service. So this is again a service which bank is providing to us for collecting money against those bills of exchange that we have. So we are just giving it to that bank and bank is collecting money on our behalf, and that's the reason this case is called as bill sent to bank for collection. It is not discounted with bank, because in case of discount क्या हो रहा था? Bank was immediately paying cash out of its own pocket, but here bank is not paying cash out of its own pocket. Bank is simply keeping all those bills with itself, and on due date bank is collecting money from each and every drawee and deposits the same into our bank account. So here, let us see how to put this into journal form. So we have to again think from drawer's point of view and drawee's point of view. So in the books of drawer, what will be the entry for credit sale? The entry will be drawee's account debit to sales account. Why drawee's account debit? Because debit the receiver. Why sales account credit? Because credit all incomes and gains. So entry becomes drawee's account debit to sales account. Now in the books of drawee, the entry will be different. In the books of drawee, we will consider that as purchases. So the entry will be purchases account debit to drawer's account. Here, why purchase account debit? Because debit all expenses and losses. And why drawer's account credit? Because credit the giver. So after this transaction, what happens? Mr. A draws the bill and Mr. B accepts the bill. That means drawer receives an acceptance and drawee gives an acceptance. So for receiving acceptance, the entry will be bills receivable account debit to drawee's account. And for giving acceptance, the entry in the books of drawee will be drawer's account debit to bills payable account. Now let us understand why this entry. So bills receivable debit because bills receivable comes in, and drawee credit because credit the giver. And here in the books of drawee, think opposite. Bills payable is going out, so it is credited, and drawer is the receiver, so that's the reason it is debited. After this, what happens? Drawer sends these all bills to bank for collection. So bank for collection will open a separate account called bill sent for collection account. So your bill sent for collection account will be debited. Now this is temporary account. It will automatically get cancelled once the bill becomes honored. So bill sent for collection account debit to bills receivable. Why bills receivable credit? Because bill is going out, so credit what goes out, bills receivable credit. And bill sent for collection debit because debit the receiver. Here bill sent for collection account represents that particular bank to whom we are sending bills, so it is bank, ultimately it is bank. So bill sent for collection account debit to bills receivable account. Here in the books of drawee, do you think will there be any entry? No. Why? Because drawee is not at all involved in the transaction, so there will be no entry in the books of drawee. After this, after 3 months, who will go to drawee? Bank will go. Which bank? Bank for collection. So bank for collection will go to drawee. So now, do you think will there be an entry in the books of drawer? No, because drawer is not at all involved in the transaction, so there won't be any entry in the books of drawer. But what drawee will pass? He is again receiving what? Bill. And what is going out? Cash bank. So bills payable account debit to cash bank account in the books of drawee. So bills payable debit because debit what comes, and cash bank credit because credit what goes out. After this, the story doesn't get over. The bank will deposit that money into our bank account. So we are receiving money into our bank account. So bank account will be debited or cash account will be debited. Now, what else will be debited is the bank charges. Why? Because bank will deduct certain amount out of our bank account. So cash bank account debit, bank charges account debit to bank for collection, or we can say bill sent for collection account. So here the bill sent for collection account is getting credited, and in the previous entry when we had sent bills, at that point of time we had debited bill sent for collection, so it is automatically getting cancelled. Now in the books of drawee there won't be any entry. Why no entry? Because drawee is not at all involved in the transaction, because bank for collection is depositing money into our bank account, so it is not involved. If the bill gets dishonored, now let's say if drawee doesn't make the payment, can bank for collection take any action against drawee? No. Why? Because bank for collection can go to drawer, and drawer will ultimately go to drawee. So bank for collection will come and will submit that bill again to drawer, and drawer will again submit that bill to drawee. So let us imagine that we are Mr. A, we are drawer. So bank for collection comes in, or bank for collection gives that particular bill. So bank for collection is giver, and at the same time we are giving that bill back to drawee. So drawee is receiver. So debit the receiver, credit the giver. So here the entry for dishonor becomes drawee's account debit to bank for collection or bill sent for collection account. So drawee's account debit to bill sent for collection account. So this is the entry for dishonor. Why drawee's account debit? Because debit the receiver. What? Drawee is receiving bill, and credit bill sent for collection. Why? Because bank is the giver of that bill. So entry becomes drawee's account debit to bill sent for collection account. Here in the books of drawee the entry remains same. That is bills payable is coming in, and who is giving ultimately to drawee? Drawer. So bills payable account debit to drawer's account. So these are the entries for the case bill sent to bank for collection. It is different from the bill discounted from bank. So in case of the bill discounted with bank, that point of time bank is the third party. But here this particular bank to whom we are just submitting the bill, or we are just keeping the bills with that bank, is not the third party. It is our representative, and bank is collecting money on our behalf, and it is simply depositing all those money into our bank account. So these are the journal entries. Hope you have understood, and if you have liked this video, you can share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel Target Publication. Thank you.